Hi, I'm Sarah Strachan. I'm an artist based in Cambridge in the UK, and I'm interested in how our perception of being in, knowing and belonging to the world affects our ecological awareness and thinking. In my transdisciplinary practice, I approach environmental changes through open research, collaboration and conversations with the land, its people and its materials. In this video workshop, I'm going to share with you some ideas about how you might think about climate leadership in the context of art practice. I'll talk about an ongoing project and suggest some ideas about how you could get involved or take some ideas forward in your own groups. Don't worry, there's no need to have any prior knowledge or experience to get involved. All you need is your body and a voice recorder of some sort. Your voice memos function on your phone works just fine. And some free software editing equipment, so like GarageBand or Audacity, depending on whether you work on a PC or a Mac. Over the past 3 years, I've been working on a collaborative project called The Air We Breathe, which is engaged with families all around the world about the issues of air quality, air pollution and intergenerational justice. As children, we shape our perceptions and beliefs from our environment. Our experience of air quality, for example, provides us with a baseline of what we expect in terms of the air we breathe. This is a phenomenon often referred in science as baseline syndrome. If you want to find out more about the project, The Air We Breathe, then there's a blog post on my website or a takeover of Sustainability First Instagram account. A friend recently referred to the air in Northumbria in the UK as champagne air. So if your early experience of champagne quality air, then perhaps you have a higher expectation. But not everyone is lucky enough to be able to breathe clean air, and there are parts of the world where just breathing is hazardous to human health, as classified by the Air Quality Index. But what does this really mean in terms of our experience? Have you experienced shortness of breath, coughing, choking or a respiratory illness caused by the air you breathe? Since the COVID-19 pandemic, we've become even more aware that we all share this same air, but our experience is far from equitable. I've been working with an environmental scientist as part of the project on the air we breathe, and he shared with us that a few million of the same air molecules that enter your lungs in a lifetime also entered Albert Einstein or Isaac Newton's, according to probability. So not only do we share the air we breathe now, but we share it with our ancestors and with future generations. If you're watching this video as a group, now might be a good time to press the pause button and talk among yourselves about your experiences of air quality and how the air you breathe affects you, your family and friends, in your local area, but also further afield and around the world. We might all be breathing the same air, but our experiences could be quite different. If you're watching alone, then perhaps just take some time to reflect on your own experience. Okay, welcome back. So, the families who took part in The Air We Breathe have very different experiences, from the clean air of rural Canada to the urban smog of Mexico City. But most of the children were focused on outdoor air quality, when in fact from discussions with a mathematician and expert in fluid mechanics based here in Cambridge, in fact indoor air quality these days is what impacts most on human health. But environmental monitoring and legislation of air quality in people's homes is largely unregulated. Again, now might be a good time to pause the video and either personally reflect or discuss with your peers some of the causes of air pollution. So, what's this got to do with art, you might well think? Well, The Air We Breathe as a project came about because I was trying to capture the essence of air. As a drawer, painter, ceramic sculptor and printmaker, I'd failed to represent the shared commitment and connectivity I felt towards the air. Behind me is one such attempt. So after all, the air is invisible, it's intangible and unknowable. Lots of artists over the years have worked with air. As some examples, there's Amy Balkan and her work on public smog in 2006, Marcel Duchamp, Paris Air of 1919, Thomas Saraceno has done a range of works using air and inflatables, and Michael Pinsky with pollution pods, which I think is an ongoing project. Through my research with environmental scientists, I was introduced to the concept of co-benefits in tackling climate change and air pollution. So this, when viewed in the context of the WHO report presented at the United Nations Climate Change Conference, or COP24 in Paris, recognises that health benefits of reducing air pollution as a result of achieving the climate change goals set out in the Paris Agreement, and acknowledges that these far outweigh the costs of their implementation. So, whilst air is invisible, unknowable and tangible, our experience of air pollution is far more tangible than climate change, which in Western society we often see as an issue that's over there affecting other people. So if, as artists, we can raise awareness of the importance of the air we breathe every day at a local level, perhaps we can change the hearts and minds on the importance of tackling climate change at a global level. So again, now might be a good time to reflect on what you might be able to do as an individual or as a group to raise awareness about the importance of the air we breathe. Thinking about extending the project and giving everyone a voice, I've been wondering about using different ways of sensing the air we breathe. I asked families involved in the air we breathe to share their experience of air through found or made objects, which are very sight and touch based. But what about smell and sound? Just the process of breathing itself has a sound associated with it. For instance, it's different depending on whether you breathe through your nose or through your mouth. Perhaps it's more laboured or noisy in poor air quality. Perhaps pause the video again now and reflect on your own breathing or sound of others breathing if you're in a group. Most of the time, we're unaware of the sound of our own breath. Like much of our internal soundscape, it's either inaudible, so out of our range of hearing, or we tune out from it because it's there all the time. So, if you're working as a group, I'm suggesting you work on this collaborative art project together. If you're watching this video alone, then there's an opportunity for you to participate in a socially distanced collaboration with myself and other remote participants. More details on this later. So, I don't want to steer you too much, but as a starting point, I'd suggest taking a short recording of your breathing. however you feel you want it to reflect on your experience of the air we breathe. Perhaps a 30 to 60-second sample is a good start. Be careful not to record too close to your mouth, or it might distort the sound through interference or create a rumble-like sound. Once you're happy with your sample, then either gather together as a group and compose a collaborative work, or you can send your sample to me, either named or anonymously. It's entirely up to you. If you're composing your own collaborative soundscape, think about how you might want to sequence, layer and alter the samples. Often distorting or inverting samples provides you with opportunities to abstract the sound from its literal source. Think about what you want to achieve and what you want to communicate with your work. It's a lot like sculpting. Adding material, taking it away, moulding and shaping. You might think about doing some field recording, collecting some ambient sounds or other samples of other beings breathing. And there's always the option of using sound clips to complement your recordings. There are some examples of where you might find free, royalty-free sound clips. If you're working as a group, perhaps now would be a good time to pause the video and discuss your creative ideas. The free sound editing software such as GarageBand and Audacity might take a bit of getting used to for beginners, but it's fairly intuitive and the possibilities are pretty endless. If you don't feel confident editing your own sound, or you're working alone, then feel free to work independently, but please do share your responses on social media at #TheAirWeBreathe, or get in touch to find out how you can get involved more with this project. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to hearing your responses.